One of the favorite parts of my job is I get to actually develop crankbaits a lot of times. Many of you know about the flicker shads and flicker minnows, things like that. Well, Gary and I spent the last couple of years now with Berkley developing a brand new stick bait. It's called the Hit Stick. And one of the final tests you always put on a stick bait is to make sure that it can catch big fall walleyes. Now the conditions aren't actually great out. It's getting very cold out tonight. And it's calling for maybe some rain, a lot of wind, but actually that's pretty good conditions to go out and test for shallow water walleyes. So I got a hold of John Hoyer and Bill Shimota, two of the guys I fish tournaments against. And we're gonna go out tonight and put kind of the final test stages on the Hit Stick. We're gonna be fishing really shallow. We're gonna be fishing in some tough conditions, but we're gonna be seeing if that Hit Stick can catch some really big walleyes and show you the next bite.
Just looking for the next bite, next bite, just looking for the next bite.
And I tell you what, the monsters are in here.
You know, this is a popular fishing area with all these lakes around here.
The next bite.
The next bite.
Keith Kavajecz would fish all hours of the day and night if he could, and he often tries, no matter the place or species.
I can get his mouth open.
Fusion 19s are a blessing and a curse.
Yeah. Once it's in the boat, you don't like them so much, but when the fish is in the water, you like them a lot.
Ironically, this fall trip with John Hoyer and Bill Shimota is only our second TNB night shoot for walleyes in the last 16 years.
These fish are just crushing it, and then they fight hard all the way in. They just don't want to give up.
Nighttime's the right time.
However, it isn't just the opportunity to catch big walleyes under the dim light of a waning moon that has these three navigating the challenges of fishing in the darkness. They are really here on a development schedule to put the final touches on a pre-release lure that is a modern and more effective take on older balsa-style baits.
This is a new bait that's going to come out next fall. It's called a Hit Stick.
One of the most classic trophy walleye bites of the year happens every fall. And it seems like there's just a few key ingredients to make it happen. Number one is definitely current. Whether it's a culvert that's letting in some fresh rainwater, or an inlet that's coming into a lake, or just a river, or even just a pinch down, maybe in between two bodies of water where you get some wind generated current. All of these areas draw big walleyes to them after dark. So generally it's a pattern where a lot of the bait fish swim into the shallow areas where there is current and the big walleyes follow. So basically we as walleye fishermen look forward to it every fall to grab some buddies and go out and fish late into the night and catch some of the biggest fish of the year.
That thing absolutely cracked it.
I like it.
You're gonna get out of your way here.
6 foot of water, they get a little mad, don't they really?
That thing knocked about 2 feet of slack in that line. I felt it dunk, and I'm like, okay, something's gonna happen here, something's gonna happen here.
Fire tiger?
Of course.
Of course.
Wow, that one looks angry.
Late.
Boy, he absolutely
All right, we're all ready.
Wow, that looks like a big one.
freight trained that thing.
Are you putting some pumps on it, or
Yeah, I was actually.
short or long? I got to get the pattern
Well, you give away all my secrets. Just ticking bottom. I just found bottom a little bit before that.
All right, I'm going to get behind you. That's him. There you go. Got a little fall color in there with him.
Oh, sure.
Uh-huh. Very nice. Turn up this light. He's still mad. I couldn't believe when you said you had one on that road and just a pound it. There, they got 2 of the. That's a good sign when you got 2 and 3 hooks in their mouth like that.
Absolutely. When they're Fusion 19s, it's not going anywhere either.
All 3 of them.
Look at that. Awesome.
Very nice. Look at there. That'll work.
Beautiful fish. It was almost like a bass bite where you felt the tick and then you could have set the hook after, you know, and it must have knocked 2 feet of slack in that line. That was so cool.
See that sucker? Boy, he's chunky. Oh, we got a little ball on him. Oh, yeah, very nice.
I guess everybody knows what time of year it is now.
Very nice. Right over there.
All right.
I'll bet you he swims fast. God, it's so pretty. So pretty.
The next bite is brought to you by Mercury Marine. Go boldly. Tracker boats. Fish the finest. Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here. Berkley. Catch more fish. And Power Pole. Total boat control. Closed captioning for the next bite is provided by Precision Trolling Data, the authority for crankbait diving depth information.
So one thing that I love to do is test new lures. And we're testing one tonight. You can tell all the plastic bags and all the little funny colors on the lures, little markings on the lures. We're testing a new stick bait. It's called the Hit Stick. And I tell you what, this bait is something special. I kind of got them laid out here. They're going to come in a whole range of sizes from very little to very big. I don't know if these will be the exact colors if they're just prototypes. But one thing I can tell you is they catch a lot of fish. We've proven that tonight and in other places. So the first thing that I like to look for in a stick bait is, first of all, something that activates very quickly. Just a little bit of movement will get this bait rolling and working, a little bit of a tail wag to it. But the other thing that you want it to do is work at very, very slow speeds. We're fishing only 1.2 miles an hour tonight. You want this bait working down here. And what I mean by working is rolling and a little bit of tail wag, and that a lot of times will trigger those fish. One thing that you'll notice about this lure is it's got these little discs on the bottom down here. Those little discs do several things for you. First of all, many times when we're fishing shallow like this, we might be casting this lure. Whether you're doing it from a boat or from shore, these discs down here will make these things cast much, much further than any stick bait out there. But they also have a real good advantage in that, is that when this bait is running, they'll act as a keel. Especially if you want to run this thing a little bit faster, they act as a keel and keep that bait running nice and straight down there. Got the great flicker shad rattle in them, high pitched. They're obviously catching us a lot of fish tonight, and I think if you run this stick bait, it's going to catch you a lot of fish too.
There's one.
Got one, John?
Yeah,
We're coming up to the bridge.
Oh, wow, this is really good.
It's outside the bridge, but
Yeah, I don't know. Do you want to put the power pole down?
Looks like another one of those
yeah.
big ones, too.
Put on.
Nice.
How's it feel?
Big?
Well, get after him.
I will.
Yeah, it looks big. I'm going to get out of the way.
I'm going to get the net. Hey, John, I can put a spotlight on you, man. There you go.
Yeah,
how's
let's
that?
see it.
Huh, you're looking good. Wow, he's here, huh?
Big head shakes. Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
Yes. That is a healthy walleye. Oh, he smoked that way. 12 hooks. And
I just love when they come up and hit the middle hook.
yeah, really. That's
It means that they're really aggressive. They ain't just following after it. They're seeing it go by and hitting it from the side.
Yeah, that one was not getting off, courtesy of Fusion 19. Oh, no.
A little bit in his gill, that's all right. Look at there.
Battle.
Fatty. It's so much fun too, because it's almost like jigging. You're just kind of moving that bait a little, and all of a sudden, boom.
Yeah, and I was kind of feeling my way along bottom. I came up to that little rise, and I tick, boom, and smoked it. So
Tick, tick, boom's good.
those are some fish catching baits.
I like them. I mean, every place we've went, it's been the same thing. Just that middle hook has probably caught more fish than any, even than the back hook. So, just a great sign for that bait.
Looks like I'll have to buy a couple more tackle boxes. Let's get this one back.
Thanks for testing that lure, bud.
Have a good night.
Total Control, presented by PowerPole. 20 years of trust evolved from Total Boat Control.
I just got my HDS live transducer, and I'm going to go out fishing here, at least checking it out and testing it with my HDS graph. The first thing that I did was I went online and I downloaded the update for the graph. But you also have to have the latest update for the transducer. So I downloaded that also. So now I'm out on the water. So I'm going to pitch the jig right out in front. Oh, there it is. I can see it coming down on the graph. That is so cool. I'm jigging it. Oh, wow. I'm watching it swim right back to me. As I get closer, I can even see my line. And now when I reel it up it comes. This is unreal. In the future for me, I think that I'm going to be using this type of a setup constantly for my jig fishing. I can only imagine when a big fish comes in, and you'll be able to see it blast the jig live. And my impressions, first time on the water, this is some awesome technology.
When it comes to after dark night trolling, there's really two key things that I concentrate on as far as presenting our baits. Number one is definitely speed. I'm really just fishing by feel, so if I'm going with the current, I'm going to be going a little bit faster just to feel my bait working perfectly. If I'm going into some current, my ground speed's going to be slower, but my bait's still going to feel the same way on my rod tip. So generally when I'm pulling it forward, it feels about as heavy in my hand, and that's kind of how I determine my speed. The other most important part is boat position. So I always have my Lowrance side screen on, a full screen, and what I'm doing there is I like to get the inside line right along a rock to sand edge. That inside line can just be ticking the rocks. And then another way I use it is if I mark some fish, say to my left 20 feet, I'll actually turn the boat so our long line crankbaits can intersect those fish. Next time you're trolling after dark, don't concentrate so much on what the speed is on your graph, but more of how that bait feels in your hand, and then how fast your boat is moving across the water.
There's a big one right on the tip there. You see that?
Oh, yeah.
There it is.
I got her.
You got her? Nice.
Here we go again.
He's mad.
I'm going to get mine out of your way here, buddy.
Wow. Oh, wow, that looks like a big one.
Oh. You called that one out, boy. Here, I'll give you that.
That's a good one.
All right. Thank you, Lowrance.
It's a good one.
Here we go.
Gotta get the net, I think. Definitely net cover. Oh, he's a good one.
Nice. I'm just going to stay out of the way.
Oh, wow.
Let me get around behind me here, John.
Let me turn the light on for this one.
Here's the leader. That's a pretty good one.
Boy, it's a pretty good one.
Oh, and he just fell off. Oh, look at here. You got a bonus,
How
John.
did you catch another lure?
There's another lure. I must have better line than they had,
I
huh?
guess. Wow,
Look at this
big
beast.
walleye.
This is a huge one.
Big old
When we
eyes.
saw that one, just as we were coming out, there's a little kind of a point you were saying in this canal, and you saw him up on side scan, and as we turn around the corner, my line will cut naturally inside a little bit, and naturally cut in inside, get you one of these.
Look at the eyes of that thing.
He's a beast.
That is a big walleye.
That's a, and he's still mad at me. Look at the size of that thing.
Wow.
That is so much fun. You said you should come over here and do a little night fishing. I said, yes, I will.
Fall's the right time.
Golly, look at that. Got a little notch in his fin up there. That's all right. Boy, and then he fought hard. I actually thought he was going to roll right up on shore.
Your line angle was right there. Get her back. I think it's my turn.
When you're trolling shallow water like we are here tonight, there's a couple of things you can do that are really going to help you get some more bites. And the biggest thing that I think is don't get lazy. Keep that bait doing different things. A lot of times what these fish will do is they'll just follow right behind it. And the best thing you can do is picture a fish following behind that bait at all times. So just imagine there's a big 8-pound walleye right behind that thing, and it's not eating, it's not eating. Well, what you can do to try to get it to grab that bait is do something different. Whether it's a quick snap or maybe it's a slow surge, that bait kind of goes ahead slow and then it drops back slow. or maybe just a simple stall. Just stall that bait out, comes to a dead stop. Now that fish is following it, it's gonna run right into its nose and it's gonna grab it a lot of times. So you get your line out there, get it down to the bottom, so you're just kind of ticking bottom, not dredging hard, just occasional tick, 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 and then start playing around with some different cadences, and you'd be surprised how many more bites you'll get doing that versus putting it in the rod holder and waiting for that bite.
The next bite is brought to you by Mercury Marine. Go boldly. Tracker Boats. Fish the finest. Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here. Berkley. Catch more fish. Lowrance. Find, navigate, dominate. Precision trolling data. The authority in diving depth info. Strike King. A legacy of domination for 50 years. And Power Pole. Total boat control. Topics, leading information, and tackle and techniques to make you a better angler. Presented by Mercury.
Something that a boat owner always pays attention to, whether it's the hull or the motor, is the warranty that you get on the products that you have. And Mercury has really a pretty special program, and it's called the Mercury Product Protection. Basically what it is it's an extended warranty plan that you can add on to the factory warranty that comes with the motors that you purchase. With this program, you can actually get up to 8 years of coverage. So you have your factory warranty, and then this Mercury Product Protection plan kicks in after that's done, up to a total of 8 years. So that's a big peace of mind for a boat owner. Second thing, boat owners always pay attention to resale value. And this product protection plan is actually transferable to the next angler that's going to buy your boat. So you're going to get some added value if you put this on your boat at purchase time to basically when you go sell it. It's non-declining, basically meaning that the value is going to stay the same on that outboard throughout that entire plan that you've purchased. The other thing that I think is real important too is it's the only engine warranty program that's directly through Mercury. There are no third parties that deal with this. You basically bring your boat and your motor into a Mercury dealership. We're sitting in Sportamotive right now, so you can bring it right here and they'll get the claim to Mercury, take care of it, the deductibles are cheap, and you're done. So very, very simple process, but that's something that you really want to keep in mind if you're going to repower your outboard, if you're going to go with a new boat and motor package, definitely look into that Mercury Product Protection Program. I think you're really going to be impressed by what it offers a boat owner.
With just about a decade of research and development finally coming to a close for Keith Kavajecz, Gary Parsons, and the team at Berkley, there likely wasn't a better final testing scenario than this fall shallow water walleye bite to end with.
Rock, scissors, paper, who nets it?
All right.
Especially for Keith and fellow tournament competitors Bill Shimota and John Hoyer.
I hope you don't see what color I got on, Bill.
Better not be fire tiger.
Wow, this is too much fun.
With a good grasp on boat control, current, and how these relate to similar area structure, this is a classic fall walleye bite and should be on everyone's bucket list to check off, alongside some good friends with the potential for making even greater memories.
I'm going to spot lock us.
I haven't made any.
Anchor up, boys, because we got a big one.
All right, we're spot locked. You going to net this one, or you want me to?
On that.
All right.
Feels like
I'm going to get out of your way.
It's a really big fish, you guys.
It's one of my favorite things to do. Did I tell you that? Get the netting night on, you know? That means things are happening.
Netting's cool, but reeling them in is maybe even a touch better.
Oh, wow. That looks like a nice line angle.
This is
Yeah, like
Straight down.
if it's 6 foot deep, it's 6 foot down. I can tell you that.
It's a big fish, you guys.
Big one?
It is.
Let me get in behind you here, William. How's that?
Yeah,
Just so I get a better shot at her here. Oh, yeah. He's in there. I went a little deep, but I got him.
Oh, man.
Dude. Wow, what a great fish.
Look how they ate that thing.
Absolutely.
I mean, he just smoked that bait.
T-bone.
Go ahead and grab that one there.
Got that rod down?
Hold the net a second here. Turn the light off. Man, he bit it. We had so many of those tonight do it. Did you notice that?
Right in the middle of the bait.
We haven't run this hit stick very much, especially at night. But we had so many do just this, and that's just a great sign that the bait is doing exactly what it should.
It really is. That was another one of them bites where it was like tick. It's like, did I get bit off by a northern? Wait for it, and it was just game on.
What a horse.
Unbelievable.
Look at this hairdo that this thing has.
Grab that bait out of them. I tell you what, we had just a great time here, and this isn't something that's real particular even where we are here. A lot of times in the fall, these fish love to come up shallow. The water is cooling down. They know they got to eat for winter. The bait comes up a little bit shallower, and they follow right in there. And many times, if you can get in that shallow water, we're only fishing 6-7 feet of water tonight. You can get in that shallow water, get a stick bait sitting in front of them fish, and this is exactly what you can end up with. Just a monster walleye.
Beautiful.
It's been a great night of fishing with you guys.
It really has, Keith. I appreciate
One of the best of the year.
Yeah, one of the best of the year, I agree. So
don't forget this night.
let's get that bad boy back in the water and let's go to bed.
Yeah,
Oh boy. Beautiful.
and good night.
Big old tail wave. Goodbye.
Look how big this one is.
You ever want to get a picture taken?
Hello.
Hello there. Look at. There's a muskie underneath it. Look at. Can you see it?
Yeah.
There's a big muskie right underneath her. It's right there.
I don't know if that muskie could have eaten that walleye, but it was a really
It's a pretty big thing. Maybe that muskie was after that hit sticking out after the walleye. It's a good bait.
You could be right.
Hey, why you got my lure in your mouth?
into the shallows to bite after dark. Let's start over. That's all I got. Let me think again here.
That part was really good.
Yeah. One of the most classic. Let's see here.
Yourself some more bites. And the biggest thing is to keep that bait moving. Let's start over. Okay, now you confused me. Okay. When trolling in shallow water like we are right now, do I want to say that? Okay. You always want to keep a few things in mind. Let's start over. Once I get rolling, I'll get it.